Hello everyone. Hello everyone. So I think we'll wait for a couple of more minutes so that people can join us, and after that we'll start. Is that clear? All right, guys. So you would be excited to know that today we have something very special, and it's a very interesting topic. And I really love talking about this topic with all my students. And the reason is because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about लिंकिंग वर्ड्स. सो मैं चाहूँगी कि हम 1-2 मिनट और रुकें ताकि और बच्चे ज्वाइन करें. बाय द टाइम दोज हु हैव जॉइंड आई वुड वांट देम टू आस्क देयर डाउट्स और मे बी जो भी कुछ आपके माइंड में हो, जस्ट लेट मी नो. ऑल राइट, सो आई थिंक बच्चे जब तक ज्वाइन करेंगे, बाय द टाइम यू हैव अ लुक एट दिस टेबल, and today we are going to discuss about this table only. So quickly do it, have a look, gather your doubts. Interesting topics, and most importantly, the topics that we are going to cover today, they're also very interesting. So have a look, we'll discuss about it. Yes. It's going to be very interesting for all of you to know that a lot of people have misconceptions about using linking words. And why do we need to change this conception, and how can we formulate it, is something that we need to do. And in today's session, we will definitely be discussing about how one can solve and how one can resonate with these words. Yes. Okay, people. So when I talk about this particular table that we can see right now, this is one of the most important tables whenever we refer to linking words. Now, when I say linking words, and when I say the, you know, why we use linking words and what makes us use linking words, all of these things are very important and must be taken into consideration. And this is the reason why we have to understand that linking words play a very, very important role, not just in terms of adding more meaning to your paragraph, but also they have they have weightage. I mean, you get marks for that. And also there's something called generating ideas. And in other words, it is also assumed that that linking words should be used in the right manner, in the right way, because using it in a different way or using it in a wrong way would eventually not give us anything, except so it is really assumed that whenever whatsoever we are doing, we need to be very, very careful about how we are using linking words and why we are using linking words. In this way, it is highly important that we understand the fact that linking words, they just not add more meaning to our sentences, but they also add a lot of link between different ideas. Okay. And most importantly, there are some linking words which are already listed here on the slide. So I think these linking words will definitely help you to understand why we are using it and what are the right words that can be used. So before I begin, if you have any questions that you have related to linking words, क्योंकि linking words बच्चों को ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत सारे डाल देंगे तो आपको marks मिलेंगे, but it is actually not like that. So assuming that you would get extra marks for using linking words, no. Whatever linking words you are using, you need to just understand, small things. And like, these things are something which will eventually make you understand and make you know how important linking words are, as in terms of generating and linking ideas. तो लिंकिंग वर्ड्स का इस्तेमाल ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा चीज़ों को जोड़ने के लिए नहीं होता, आइडियाज़ को जोड़ने के लिए होता है. ठीक है. अब आइडियाज़ कैसे होते हैं यार? देखो, जब भी हम राइटिंग टास्क करते हैं या स्पीकिंग करते हैं, तो वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स that we talk about, right? So how are we linking them? For example, there's a paragraph that we are writing, and you're writing so many things in order to attach. and in order to have the meaning. So it is always said, it is always assumed that don't waste your time in maybe, adding a lot of linking words. Try to see that whatever you are answering, whatever you are writing, is it creating any, you know, any sense, as in logically उसका कोई मतलब आ रहा है. क्योंकि unnecessarily 50 linking words डालने से you would not be given marks. You would not be given marks if at all you add some good 50-60 linking words. No. You have to understand that linking words are only used when you are talking about an idea, when you're trying to link an idea, and that is how they are important, and that's how they are making sense. So here are some of the most important and most commonly heard linking words that are there on the screen. Please have a look at this. Rather, you have already seen these linking words. So I would want to talk about very important factors and very important, you know, things that I want to discuss from this particular slide. And this is that whenever you get linking words, please don't put it in the way, please don't put it in any way. So whatever or whichever words you are putting, or whatsoever you are doing, just see कि वो उसके साथ match करना चाहिए. Now you write a lot of supporting details, बहुत सारी चीज़ें जहाँ पे बहुत सारा addition आ रहा हो, right? So मतलब basically आप एक ही चीज़ को explain कर रहे हो and you have a lot of ands. So instead of writing ands and all of that, it is important that you write words like furthermore, in addition, additionally, besides that. It is equally important. Or maybe linking them in a way wherein you're making first, second, third. So these are the things which are really important, and which gives more meaning, right? Then whenever you want to highlight a result, maybe, so highlighting results have different ways. Highlighting results has a different ideology altogether. So for a result, there has to be a cause as well. So understanding and knowing such things, I would say that use linking words appropriately wherever it is required. Don't use it anywhere and everywhere where you think that maybe adding them would add more marks in your kitties. That would not be a right decision, I would say, guys. So जब भी linking words की बात आती है, be very careful, be very very I mean, you have to understand the fact that you just cannot write anything that will come your way. All that I have to say. Clear? Okay. So, linking words can be used in different conditions. And these conditions are like addition, comparison, contrast, time, result, summary, examples, and places. Examples देना IELTS में in itself is a very very important task, and why is it an important task also has a reason again. And it is because of the fact that results, summaries, examples, places, these are the things that we generally add. We generally put in our paragraphs. So just to add more meaning to whatever you're writing, please take conscious decisions while you're using these linking words. correct and incorrect. So these are some correct and incorrect formations. I would want everyone to have a look at them, and post that we'll be discussing about it. Have a look. Have a look and then I'll explain you. Should we discuss? Okay, so yes, let us talk about some correct and incorrect framings that are seen specifically for linking words. And when I say some correct and incorrect phrasing of the linking words, these are some of the common examples that I have placed here in front of you. And why I did this, because of the fact that this is very true. Okay, so in my opinion, from my opinion, कभी नहीं होता. कई बच्चे बोलते हैं I am agree. Agree is not a cheese यार. Agree is a verb. So it's not I am agree. It is I agree. In my opinion. Yes. In my point of view. Second or secondly. Yes. So if you get this, again, be careful. secondly, second of all नहीं होता. जैसे first of all होता है, वैसे कई students second of all लिखते हैं. No second of all. So it's second or maybe secondly. ठीक है? Then next is in conclusion. Don't write in a nutshell. It's very, very informal. You don't get marks for writing in a nutshell. That's simply is not advised, and I don't allow students to write this. Last but not the least, not least नहीं होगा. Last but not the least, again, last but not the least मत use करो. It's not a good phrase. It's informal. You can use it in speaking but not in writing. On the other hand nahi. On the other hand, from my point of view, in my point of view, नहीं होता, from होता है. From my point of view, मेरे point of view से. In my opinion, not from my opinion. I agree. Take a moment and absorb all these things. Take a moment, absorb all of these things, and then we'll begin with the करें आगे? Okay. IELTS writing task 2, essential vocabulary. Okay. The essential vocabulary that we have for IELTS writing task 2 is as follow. So, giving away your opinions. So, it's like, in my opinion is that, according to me, yes, and it would seem that, or it appears that, don't write, it looks like, ठीक है. और right, so these are the words which you can use, these are the phrases that you can use. It would seem that, it appears that, it looks like, and looks like is something that you can use in speaking primarily. Somewhat agree, I strongly agree with the idea, I strongly agree with the fact, with the argument. You can use such phrases. I think, I believe, I feel that, yes. I don't think the same way, I think the same way. Anything that you have, that matter. Okay. Next, moving ahead, we have some main pointers to keep in our mind, and these pointers are main points, supporting points, and concluding your writing. Yes, so there are a lot of things that happens to be in the writing, and they are, as I told you, you have to create effective arguments, looking and knowing to the fact that just because of the fact that whatever we speak, yes, or maybe whatever we write, it has to be effective in nature. That is what I have, that is what we have discussed. So, owing to the fact that whatever we'll be doing, whatever we'll be writing, is because of the fact that you'll be using the main idea, supporting idea. In this particular way, you'll be, so yes, you have to create effective arguments, and whenever you create effective arguments, you must know and you should know that your argument should be effective, and they should include such phrases, such paragraphs, so that you get to see and you get to know what you are trying to convey to your reader. And when I talk about the reader is essentially every time the examiner. So whatsoever you'll be doing it, whatever you have in your mind, just keep some main points there, and keeping these main points here, you have to decide about the contrasting points that you will have. So the main idea, the contrasting points, the supporting details, and also, most importantly, you have to conclude your writing. Do you understand what do you understand by the word concluding your writings? So it's not just about concluding, maybe just complete one paragraph. It's about concluding each shorter paragraph that you make in your IELTS writing. As you know that dividing it into, you know, dividing your paragraphs into some good 3 4 paragraphs is a good thing that one should do. So just because we know that we have to do it, so it's essentially important for us to keep these things in our mind and do it accordingly. Yes, so for the main ideas, you have like first of all, firstly, initially, to begin with, some people believe that, many people think that, then supporting and contrasting points के लिए you have secondly, second of all, next, besides that, likewise, on the other hand. Yeah, so these are the things that you have to and you need to keep in your mind. Is that all right? Now, when I talk about concluding your writings, so when it comes to concluding your writings, again, you have to show the balance, the ideology that you are trying to create. Again, you have to show the balance, the ideology. Right. So, my personal conclusion, or I think, or this can be concluded in this way. So these are some of the words that, the phrases that you can use. And rather than calling them phrases, I think the better word is to call them as functions. So these are some of the things which I wanted to highlight by giving away this session. So anything that you have, anything that you would want to discuss, anyone? Any questions, guys? So before we end the session, I'll give you a chance to observe the screen, the deck of slides once again, and with that, we'll end the session with maybe the doubts that you have, or maybe anything. I think, guys, it's time for us to wrap up, as you people have no doubts. All right, guys, with this we end the session for the linking words, which I wanted to discuss. Why? Because the topic is quite essential, and just a fact before I leave, that adding more linking words would not give you marks, but adding relevant linking words and at the right place at the right time would give you marks. All right, guys, then with this, we end the session. Any questions, any problems, do let us